Hi, how's everybody today? Today is the weekend. We always like the weekend. For me, it really doesn't matter because I'm not working, so every day seems the same to me. But I'm not really that upset. Right now, I'm just trying to recover, get better, and, get my son situated. There's a lot of stuff happening, and it's very difficult to endure all of the stresses that I'm dealing with. But I'm very fortunate that I've have many, many friends, high school friends, my coach. I mean, I can't imagine the outpouring of love and support that I've gotten on my Facebook page. I don't know what it is now that I feel like it's needed for me to get out and open up and express myself. Most people don't like to share private things. For me, I don't look at it in that sense because my perspective is totally different. You have to understand, if you knew me back in high school, I was a very introverted, quiet, and shy kid. And I had crushes on all these girls, and I couldn't even say a word to them. But I was also struggling with gender identity. So for me, it was kind of a conflict. Because, yeah, I enjoyed the company of girls. I wanted to be amongst them, but I also felt like I wanted to be with them because I identified with them. As Emily, I always felt empowered. As Ed, I knew I was a good guy, but I was very shy. Now, there are some things that stand out in my high school. First, I was very good at applying myself and learning and studying hard. And secondly, I was also into the sporting scene. But it was by accident that I got on the track and cross country team because my coach, Al Bukowski, actually recruited me in a, believe it or not, on the lunch line in the cafeteria. He just came up to me out of the blue and he said he thought I could run and he wanted me to be a part of the team. And there's a story behind that, really, because I was really depressed and I was really wondering if I should consider, a very extreme act that would be very devastating to me, my family. But my coach saved me. He actually helped me and he made me believe in myself. Now, I have become very, how can I say, as a girl, which I am considering myself now because I am transitioning, I feel that I like to talk, express my emotions, and I also feel better because I'm dressing the way I know I like to and feel comfortable. Plus, I'm also feeling good because I'm on the female hormones. They're making me feel tremendous. And they're also giving me a very feminine look. And, I can't be more happier than that. Now, I am not working, nor do I feel I am going to work for any time soon. And I'm still dealing with issues regarding my son. My poor son is in South Oaks Hospital. And, we don't know what's going to happen with his schooling. All I know is he's been accepted to a school in Romulus, New York, which isn't that far from Syracuse. Is it Syracuse? Yeah, I think Syracuse. But it's a far drive, and I don't know how he will adapt, but it is very much needed that he gets to a school facility where he lives there and then he can make friends and be part of that community. That's very important. Now for me, I think I need to focus on healing and also my transition. Now that I'm not working, it allows me the opportunity to kind of go through the transition, and hopefully I will develop more and more as a female you know, I would love to have the sex change, the surgery. I would love that, but I don't think it's practical, and I don't think I could afford it because I'm dealing with other major issues like the house, and I'm dealing with trying to get my son situated with school, and I'm dealing with my poor wife and her emotional state of mind, and I'm dealing with my own emotional state of mind and my son's emotional state of mind. I mean, there's only so much you can deal with. But with that said, I have learned something very, very, very important, that it really touches my heart, and it makes me realize that people do care, because I've never had that sense of people wanting. I mean, I have friends who care, but in the sense that high school friends who I haven't seen in years, I have seen a good amount of them at the 30-year high school reunion, and that was that was a few years back. But, I love these people, and the girls are special to me because I feel such a bond. I'm gonna be looking forward to meeting with these girls, my friends from the high school, because now I can be one of them. I feel happy. But I also have my coach, and my coach is very supportive of me, and now I'm not sure how I can dress with him. I mean, I believe he will accept me as Emily, but he also knows me as Ed when I was a track runner, a cross-country runner. And my coach actually, this is going to sound a little odd because of what's going on with me now, but my coach instilled in me the qualities that made me a man when I was back in high school, because I was this timid, shy kid, and he pushed me, and he made me believe in myself, and he made it possible. He made the impossible possible for me, because I never knew I could run. I never knew I had it in me, but he taught me, and I ran 3.2-mile races, and I ran during the week, 10 miles a day at times, and I ran with a bunch of nice guys, and even a girl, Barbara Davis. I ran with Teddy Canova, I ran with Kenny Eisenband, Scott Carlin, Glenn Wolin, Jay Gottesman, so many. Ira Myers, our top champion, Timmy Canova, the list goes on. It was just so fun to be a part of that team, and we really worked hard. Dave Kurzweil, another one, Scott Blaufo, Mitch Goldblatt. I mean, so many runners, and we just had a great time. Tex, it was fun. It was good. It was fun. And I really learned how to really push myself. And that prepared me for when I went on to college. Coach instilled in me very good qualities. So I am very grateful to him. And I'm very grateful to my high school friends who've reached out to me, as well as Coach. Because without that, I don't know where I would be. And plus, if you think about it, the power of Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg, he is such a genius for what he created. And if you saw the movie The Social Network, you kind of get an idea how he got led into this whole creation and vision of Facebook. And the ironic thing was, it really came about because he was rejected by a girl that he had feelings for. So, what do you know? A girl led this Mark Zuckerberg to create one of the most powerful tools, and she didn't even get credit for it. That's the most ironic thing. He should have gave her at least a 5% share. But anyway, I think things will pick up. Things will get better. I mean, when you hit rock bottom, maybe I'm not quite at rock bottom, but when you really hit a low in your life and you feel alone and isolated, you have to kind of grab onto some belief that things will work out. I have been fortunate that I'm going to doctors and I'm being seen and evaluated, and they're good doctors. They're prescribing me on the medications that are helping me. Plus, I only go to my psychiatrist now maybe twice a month, but my therapist I go to every week. And I also go to the Callan Lord Community Center for my female transition. I'm taking estradiol and spironolactone, which are medically prescribed to me by my doctor, Juliet Woodruff. And I love that woman. She's great. And she's fully supportive of my transition from male to female. And she knew from day one when I took off my suit and tie and had a nice pretty dress underneath. So she knew, and she said she wanted to help me, and she is doing that. I also have a good electrolysis who's really making me feel good, because when you have the facial hair slimming and virtually undetectable, and you start to look at yourself in the mirror and you see more like a female, that is like the greatest feeling in the world. I always longed to be a girl, and now to feel more and more like one just makes me feel so happy inside. I have thought about some really serious things, and I have gone through a depression, and I've felt at times like I wanted to just end the pain. I didn't know how to help my son, and I got very frustrated. And then I lost my job, and everything turned upside down. I felt literally like my whole world was caving in on me. And not only did I have to deal with job loss, but I was dealing with my transition. I was dealing with my son's struggles with autism. I was dealing with trying to find the right school for him. And it now seems like residential school is our only hope. I was also dealing with the fact that now that we're in a financial crisis, the economy, but us as a family too, means that my mortgage payments are delinquent. And that stresses me to the point where I am so worried about that I am having nightmares that we will be forced out of our house. And living with that reality is very scary. And that's when I start to think that, I have no other choice. But I have to be strong. I have to realize, and now especially with all these friends from my high school days who are leaving me the best help in their kind and compassionate messages. If it wasn't for the Facebook, I don't know if I would even have contact with these friends. So it's really like a miracle. And it's funny how things work out. But Facebook has really been a godsend, because it allows me to get back in touch with these people who I really haven't seen for a long, long time. And some of these high schoolers that I went to school with, I never really had the good fortune of getting to really know them. But as we're older and we're family, we have families and children, and we can relate more, we've become good friends. I mean, I've met wonderful girls and I'm in touch with the guy friends I had, and there are girls like Janet Rose Schenkel and Beth Karras. I don't remember her marriage name. Baker, maybe? And Daryl Phillips, and so many girls. I wish I could remember names, but my memory is not good. Um, Carol Felice, so many sweet girls. And these are girls that I had crushes on, believe it or not. But I was too scared to tell. And there was a girl I had a crush on, and there was a friend of mine, my neighbor, Tracy Kravitz, who was trying to hook me up with a girl, Rachel. I don't want to spare her any embarrassment. But Rachel Fishman was a girl I had a crush on. And I'll never forget, I really wanted to talk to this girl. And actually, Tracy spoke to her, and she called me by name in the cafeteria, and I really blew it because I was so shy that I couldn't even approach the young lady to even say a word. That's how shy I was. And I wouldn't even know what to say. All I knew is I had these feelings for these girls. But inside, too, I had feelings of desiring to be a female. So I was very conflicted. And the only things that really helped me get through that conflict was my studying. I was a math, physics, and science lover. I loved those subjects. I also liked English because I'm finding that I love to write. So English really gave me a basis for drawing upon to start to express myself through writing. And I also enjoyed my French class. I loved the city of Paris and learning about the history. And I did have the good fortune in one of my former employers of actually traveling there to Paris. And it was an opportunity of a lifetime. I also realize that I have a good support system. You know, I have my family, my immediate family. I'm not too sure right now about my sisters. They don't seem to be too friendly to me lately. And I'm not holding anything against them. But, I mean, they haven't called me. They know Maddie's in the hospital. They have to know by my Facebook posts. But I think that they feel offended by my transgender and by the fact that I'm so open and honest. And you know something? For me, I can't help it. I have totally transformed from a very shy kid to a young woman who feels the need to express herself and carry forward and be strong. If anything I learn, it's the fact that I now have more inner fortitude and strength. And the irony is I'm deriving that strength from girl power, female power. And I truly feel connected to women. And I always felt connected to girls. I always wanted to be a girl. I always felt like a girl. And that is so very difficult for many to understand. For me, I lived it. I struggled with it every day of my life. So for me, it was just something I had to do. There was no question about it. The only thing was I didn't know when I could transition. I didn't know even if I could transition. There were so many obstacles in my way. We had some family tragedies. My mom was very sick through the years. My dad struggled. And you know, we lost my mom at a relatively young age. She was 49 when she passed away. And I was a young man in my mid-20s. And I just felt lost without my mom. She was very close. I was very close to her. And then I became very close to my dad. So my parents meant a lot to me. They were my support system. But I never really came out to them. It was very difficult for me. And I was very scared to come out. I never came out to many people. And really, the first time I did come out, which I believe I spoke about, was in my early 30s when my mom had passed away a few years earlier. And I started going to a therapist. And the irony was, this therapist was originally talking to me about transitioning to become a female. And then after many conversations, I had also explored the idea of possibly meeting a girl and getting married. So she thought between the transitioning or the trying to live as a male and marry and have a family, she thought it would be in my best interest, and I believed her, and I believed that it was, to marry and to have a family. And I'm very fortunate. I have a beautiful wife. I have a beautiful son. You know, we don't have a perfect marriage. I don't know if anybody has a perfect marriage. But the fact is, I have feelings for my wife. I have feelings for my son. I love them. I want to do the best I can for them. I even adore my mother-in-law. She's so sweet. Look, life isn't perfect. And I need to wear dresses because that's really how I identify. I can't go back and put on a suit and tie and live as a guy. That's not me. But I'm not trying to hurt anyone. I never wanted to hurt anyone. And it would be foolish if I took my life, especially when I'm having the time of my life as Emily. And I don't feel like I'm being selfish. I mean, I'm very much concerned for my son. I'm very much concerned for my wife. I'm very much concerned for the house that we live in, that we keep it. My honest opinion about the housing situation, though, is I would much rather speak to my friend Janet Rose Schenkel and see what the cost of housing is in Tennessee. I don't know about job prospects, but I'm not working now, and I'm not able to work. I'm on disability, long-term, and now Social Security, and my son is now, too. But the fact is that I'm 52. Now, I don't know if my disability will carry me through to my 60s, mid-60s, and I don't know the future. I have no idea how long I have left to live. Nobody knows that. But I have had thoughts at times where I felt I was in so much pain that I just wanted to stop it, you know? You're only a human being and you can only take so much. And I saw the tragedies with my parents. You know, I had other tragedies too. I had a cousin who blew his brains out, for Christ's sake. His wife left him. He had children that he didn't see. And he got so distraught and depressed that one day he went into, I don't know actually where he went, but it was told to me by family members that he actually put a gun into his mouth and pulled the trigger. I mean, that is the most horrific way to go that I could imagine, aside from the fact that my father threw himself into the path of a speeding train. So one way or the other, they're both gruesome deaths. And then my mother took the slow way out, but it was miserable. And she starved herself to death. In her case, I think she just lost the will to go on. And she just didn't want to continue. But, you know, life is not easy. We all have to go through struggle. But we try to hang in there and do the best we can. I mean, that's what it's all about. So, let me just cut this video a little shorter than usual. And I have all my friends to thank. The high school friends, my coach. And I am dedicating this video to all of you in my high school class of 1979, to my coach Al Bukowski, to all my friends who reached out to me on Facebook and shared their kindness and their comments that truly lifted my spirits and made me feel better about things. And it's nice to know that you have friends that do care. And my high school friends have really proved that. And it is a wonderful thing to be able to be in touch with such wonderful people. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart as Emily, and I want to share with you my feelings that I am so delighted to have each and every one of you in my life. And if we ever get the chance to meet again, it would be my pleasure. And I would have also the pleasure of introducing you to Emily, because now that is how I will live my life, as a woman, as Emily, and I look forward to meeting everyone and sharing myself. This is who I am, and I will find that acceptance and the peace of mind. I will find the acceptance from my family and my son. Things will not be easy at first. It's a transitional process, but we will get through it. Just like Maddie will get through the school, he'll get to be a better person. He'll find his way, just like I found my way. And my wife will also find peace and get the needed therapy that she so needs. But I must tell you all, from the bottom of my heart, I am truly grateful to have such wonderful friends from Belmore JFK High School, class of 79 and classes of 1980, because I had coach and I had track runners that I ran with that were graduating the year after I graduated. So let me wrap up, say my best regards to every one of you, and let me tell you that you have all made me feel much happier. And the feeling of being accepted as Emily makes me feel so good inside. And to have that acceptance by the women of Kennedy High School, class of 79, makes it even more special. And I have a friend, Merrill, who every now and then reaches out to me, and I just feel so blessed. She's sweet, kind, and caring, and all of the girls are. And even my guy friends, like Brian Thiessen and Marty Schindelheim, all my friends. It's just amazing. And I love you all. And I will say bye for now. And I want to just say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Bye, and have a happy holiday season. Love, Emily.